Why hello gentlemen. I know what you're thinking right now. I clicked on a Squiddish Assassin's Creed video. Who is this extremely handsome man in front of me? Well gentlemen, this is Squiddish. And I'm here to talk about something rather important to us all. And that is the Assassin's Creed multiplayer. Now I'm not just talking about the multiplayer as a whole, like the general hit, the gameplay, the bugs, the lack of support. I'm not even here to talk about any of that. What I'm talking about today is deeper. A lot deeper. We're talking like third level Inception depth here. All the way to the heart of the problem. What I'm going to talk about is the entire design philosophy behind Assassin's Creed. How the game is structured, how it's meant to be played, what was meant to be rewarded versus what is rewarded. Those kind of things. I'm not talking about the fact that there are roofers stun-locking people with guns. I'm talking about why that exists, should it exist, if not, what can be done to change it. Gentlemen, if I made Assassin's Creed 3, this is what would be done differently in the multiplayer. Let's start with the obvious here. What's wrong with Revelations? A quick look at the Assassin's Creed forum shows that a lot of people are really disappointed with the game, and we're even disappointed with Brotherhood near the end of its lifespan. But why? Well, what changed? What happened that made this game less fun than it was? Is it Ubisoft's fault? Is it our fault? Well, personally, I think it's a pretty decent mixture of the two. The big change that's happened from the release of Brotherhood to where we're at today with Revelations is that the focus has gone from fun, teamwork, and winning the game to this goddamn leaderboard. These numbers are the only things people care about. I've heard people, myself included, say that games where they did fantastic, were laughing and had fun the entire time, were a complete waste because they didn't beat their score. Why is this? It's a numbers game now. That's all it is. It's not about the fun anymore. Hardly anyone plays Assassin's Creed for the fun, and that's partially our fault. Yes, that's largely our fault. But it's also largely on Ubisoft. Ubisoft designed Revelations to be an EP war. That is everything it is. The Dare system, the friend leaderboard, everything up to and including the fact that your friends that are ahead of you scores show up at the beginning of every match you start. This game is made to be an EP sword fight. That is all it is. And that's a horrible design. I mean, competitiveness is fun. Yes, it's always fun to compare your highest scores. What they have with the Templar grade in Brotherhood was a decent idea, but this is just stupid. It's not even like the leaderboards are indicative of skill. It's who got the best lucky game against a bunch of retards. But that's what the whole game is built around now. Numbers. Why? Why is it numbers? Why do we care about numbers? They're not important. They're really not, I promise you. Now the second thing that's changed from... Heater, I will end you. Now the second thing that's changed from the beginning of Brotherhood to where we are now is the mentality of the game. I don't know how many of you played Brotherhood really early in its life. I personally went to a midnight release at GameStop, brought the game home, played multiplayer for about 2 hours. It was nothing like it is today. It was nothing like Brotherhood was near the end of its life. It was a completely different experience. It was about stealth. Everyone was afraid to run. You snuck around, you hid in crowds, you did whatever you could to avoid your pursuer's attention. Why? Because it was your pursuer. This guy was going to come murder your face off. He's literally called your pursuer. This man is coming to kill you. You need to hide from him. What is your pursuer now? A 200-point stun target. No one's afraid of their pursuer anymore. Even team games just boil down to trying to find your pursuer as quick as you can and stand around mashing B blindly, which is apparently skill, and trying to rack up as many stun points as you can before you die, run directly back to your pursuers and do it all again. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. That's not the cat and mouse gameplay we were promised. This isn't Hunter versus Hunted. That's Hunter versus 200-point stun target. I mean, that's defeats the entire premise that the multiplayer was built upon. Now, as much as you guys are going to hate it, I don't like stuns. I don't like stun locks. I'm not saying stuns have got to go. but they've got to be a lot more difficult, and they need to be rewarded less. The players need to be incentivized more to run and hide from their pursuers than just try and stand and fight them. That is the leaderboards and the hunter and hunted, I think, are the two major changes that need to be made to the game to bring it back to being an amazingly fun experience that I'd want to play as much as I can.
So here's what we're gonna do, gentlemen. You're gonna fear your goddamn pursuer. This man is going to scare you. You're gonna see those red crystals come up, see suspicious movement in the crowd, and you are gonna want to hide. Your first response isn't gonna be, hey, I'm gonna go mute this guy and punch him in his fucking mouth pipe. No. You're gonna hide from this man, or you're gonna run from this man. You're gonna get away, and you're going to know that if you try and stand up to this guy, unless he is completely clueless, you're gonna die. I'm gonna bring stealth back, gentlemen. I'm going to bring stealth back. More stealth-based setups on the maps. More standard NPC groups, more moving NPC groups, a different AI code for the NPCs. Make them move with purpose. Instead of making the blend groups just walk arbitrarily around some circuit, let's make every NPC on the map go somewhere. Make an NPC walk across the map just to sit on a bench. Make NPCs leave and join blend groups more often. Make everything less static, so it's a little more difficult to tell when people do obvious things like, I don't know, sit down on a bench. Why should that be something that gives them away? Well, it won't be. I'm going to reward stealth more as well, with rebalanced bonuses, which I'll go over in a bit here. Rebalanced completely to bring stealth back into the forefront of the game and put the focus back on quality, stealthy kills. Game modes like Wanted and Deathmatch really highlight what I want to go for. You've got pursuers you need to worry about. They should scare you. You've got targets you need to try and hunt down without being detected. That is Assassin's Creed. That is stealth. Assassinate is everything that's wrong with this game. You don't even have pursuers. Everyone is a target. There's nothing to worry about. There's no tactics other than smoke baiting. Everything that is wrong with Assassin's Creed culminates in Assassinate. So you can kind of see the focus we're going for here. Now, that's all well and good. You've got our game plan in mind here. But how are we going to do this? Well, let's go ahead and go over that ability rebalancing I talked about. Now, in order to bring stealth back into the game, like I said, the hunter and hunted mentality has to be restored. That's going to be a two-part initiative, and the first part is going to be rebalancing the points between stun, escape, and lure. Stuns are now only going to be worth 100 points. You still get credit for them, you still get some points, but not as much as if you did something else. Stunning is you had no option left and you managed to punch your pursuer in his mouth. It is also not going to count towards silent kill streaks anymore. If you get a stun, it will count as a non-silent kill in your streak. So it'll add on to a regular kill streak, but not a silent one. Escapes are going to be buffed a little bit. Your standard out-of-sight escape is going to be 250 points. A brutal escape will be 250 points with the 100 points for the stun. So, 350. Now, a hidden escape is going to be what you really want. Hidden escapes are going to be 300 points, so a little bit less than a brutal escape. However, they will count as a silent kill in your streak. If you can get a hidden escape, like say you're running the 3 silent streak, and you're in a triple chase. Dart through a chase breaker, hide in a blend group, get a hidden escape, that's your 3 silent streak right there. That's points. That's crazy points. And finally, a lure. What we're going to do with a lure is give you the ultimate reward. A lure is the ultimate in stealth. It means you have mind-fucked your pursuer and he could not find you. You won. You're going to get 250 points and a count on your silent kill streak for every lure you get. Now, with the new focus being shifted toward escapes, I'm going to modify chases a little bit. The chase timer is going to run out a bit faster once you break the target's line of sight. And if you manage to turn a corner and get away long enough to break your chaser's lock, his chase bar will not start refilling until he puts the lock back on you. He can't just turn a corner and instantly know it's you again. He's got to relock you. You'll still have the prompt over your head, so it won't be that bad. But it allows you to dart around corners and escape easier. Also, you have chase protection. If you are currently in an escape running from your pursuer, your detection meter will not drop below discreet. So you won't have to worry about starting a chase with your target while you run blindly from your pursuer. I'm also going to bring the long-requested nerf to aerial kills. We're going to keep the system from Revelations where kill is replaced by aerial kill and acrobatic kill. However, hidden kill is going to go back to being a separate bonus. A kill will be worth 100 points, of course. An aerial kill will be worth 50. So just by roofing somebody, you've knocked 50 points off of your kill. An acrobatic kill will be worth 150. So if you can pull off an acrobatic, you'll still get a little bit more than a regular kill. But not nearly as much as you're rewarded for now. It'll still obviously count toward variety, so it's worth trying for one, but it's not going to be the big point hog it is now. In addition, aerial and acrobatic kill is mutually exclusive with the focus bonus. That's right. No more focus acrobatic kills from a rooftop. They're gone. If your kill was acrobatic, you won't get the focus. You can still build focus while you're standing on a rooftop, but unless you drop to the ground for the final kill, you won't get the focus bonus added into your kill. I'm also toying with 5 ideas for new bonuses to add on to help promote stealth some more. First one is Stalker. You receive a 100-point bonus for keeping your target in your line of sight for 6 seconds before you kill them. It's kind of like a minor long-range focus. And, by the way, Infiltration for 250 is going to be for a focus bonus while blended. That's basically going to be impossible unless you're blended in the same group as your target. Now, this bonus is mutually exclusive with focus. You will get focus or you will get the superior infiltration, but you won't get both. Evasion. If an enemy locks onto you for at least 5 seconds and his compass is a full circle, and you manage to get away and break his lock, you'll get a little 50-point dump. Why not? You snuck away. Have 50 points. He knew who you were and you snuck away. So even if he's being careful not to start a chase, just by your getting away, you'll get a nice 50 points. Ambush. If a target was in your line of sight for less than a full second before you killed them and had been out of sight for at least 10 seconds before that, you're going to get a 100-point bonus. The reverse detection meter totally threw away cutting off your target and ambushing. I don't know why. Ambushing is a huge part of stealth and assassination. If you can plan where your target is going to go, think ahead and cut them off, you should be rewarded for that. And for the 5th bonus, with these new bonuses I'm adding in, and since I'm keeping most of the bonuses from Revelations, we're going to have Superb Variety, 800 points, for 20 different bonuses.
Now granted, those changes are going to help. They're going to make the game more stealth-oriented and less pursuer hunting-based, but they're not going to be enough. Those changes aren't going to change the main mentality of the game. No, we're going to need to go deeper. And here's what I propose. For the standard game modes, this right here is your new compass. Not the old wanted compass. I know it looks like a really distant assassinate compass, this little triangle right here, right? That's all it's going to do. It's not going to turn into an arc when you get close to your pursuer. It's going to remain this little triangle until you get, I'd say, about 50% further away than current full compass distance, and then you get this. That means you're close. No line of sight indicator, no up-down indicator. You get the triangle that points you to your target, and then you get the circle that tells them they're nearby. And then what are you going to do? Well, you're going to use your fucking eyeballs is what you're going to do. Seriously, look. Look for them. It's not about screening. It's not about this really easy target acquisition. Stealth is completely pointless when it's so easy to identify your target in Revelations. I'm going to make it more difficult again. I'm going to give hiding a purpose. You're going to get the entire full compass area to hide him because your pursuer sure as hell doesn't have a line of sight indicator. He's going to have to actually hunt you. It's going to become a waiting game of sorts. I'm sure nobody's going to stand around forever. You're going to know your pursuer's nearby. But how are you going to know? Whispers? No. No whispers. No whispers for you. There is no reason you should be warned that your pursuer is coming when they've done nothing wrong. They're not even high profile. There's no reason you should know they're there, and not just another NPC in the crowd. You're gonna know because you're a fucking assassin. You're watching your corners, you're watching your flanks, you're watching the doorways. You're gonna see that suspicious movement. Not hear some all-powerful mega whisper from nowhere telling you danger's coming. 2 more quick changes I would do, a little more minor. Honorable death needs to get the fuck out. Well, yes, it does. It really does. I don't want to reward you failing to stun. I want to get you out of that mentality of running at your pursuer matching B. That is not going to get you anything. Now, you will still get an honorable death if you do attempt to stun and your pursuer kills you. Well, sort of. They'll get a contested kill. You won't receive anything except the knowledge that you lowered your pursuer's points and that he's going to limp around like a retard for a second afterward. But you're not going to be rewarded for that at all. He's just going to be penalized because he apparently wasn't very stealthy. We're also going to go back to the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood stealth meter. The classic old started incognito, decreases if you do high-profile type things in your target's line of sight. We're going to get rid of reckless entirely. We're just going to go back to silent, discreet, and incognito, just like it used to be in the good old days. And just like it used to be, you fuck up your incognito, you fucked up your incognito, son, it's gone. You can settle for your silent. Well, unless you have a certain perk, but we'll talk about those later.
A new focus for the game, a whole new direction. Well, obviously, this is going to require a little bit of a tweak to abilities. Now, this is the second part of my plan that I mentioned earlier to put the fear of the pursuer back in you. Now, I know this is going to be the most controversial part of my plans here, but if you sit there and think about it, I think we can all agree it's going to lead the game back to being a more fun and stealthy experience. Abilities that grant you free stuns have to go. They have to. We can't just have people running around with smoke mute and fearing their pursuers. It's just not going to happen. If you know you've got something that's going to come off cooldown every 45 seconds in your back pocket, that'll give you free stuns against anyone who comes at you, or even groups of enemies that come at you, you're not going to hide from your pursuer. You're not going to worry about them. You're not even going to take them into account. They have to go. With that in mind, here's what we're going to do. A lot of abilities are just going to be carried over and stay the same as they were. Poison, sprint boost, the hidden gun, throwing knives, decoy, disguise, and firecrackers. Firecrackers are going to work like they did in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood with a total blinding effect, but you can still throw them like you could in Assassin's Creed Revelations. 3 abilities are going to change a little bit. Smoke Bomb is still going to be included, but it's going to work a little differently. You can no longer stun a Templar who is coughing in your smoke. You also cannot build focus on a coughing Templar. So you can still offensive Smoke Bomb if you need to, and you can still use that to secure kills. But you won't be able to build stuns with it, you won't be able to smoke focus people anymore. It's mainly going to be used as an escape mechanism. Throw it, catch all your pursuers, bail to the nearest chase breaker, get that nice fucking hidden escape and all your silent street credits. Morph is now going to have a dual radius to work with the less accurate compass. It's going to do what it does currently, change a bunch of NPCs in the short radius into you. But it's also going to change more NPCs in a wider area, let's say 3 times as wide as the current morph radius. It's going to change a quarter of those NPCs into you as well. So, when your pursuer gets into his full compass range and doesn't have his line of sight indicator, there's going to be a tight clump of you where you hit the morph, and then more scattered copies of you throughout the wider area. They'll be a great tool to use to hide, and not as obvious as the current morph. Templar Vision is going to get a complete rework. It is no longer going to reveal your targets. In addition to taking out abilities that grant you free stuns, I am taking out everything that is a free target kill. That is, charge is gone, tripwire bomb is gone, and Templar Vision is no longer going to show you who your target is. The closest you've got is decoy checking and throwing firecrackers, and offensive morphing. I mean, we can all agree, throwing firecrackers into a group to determine who your target is a lot different than hitting charge and getting an auto kill, or Templar Vision and having it literally point to them for you. Anyway, Templar Vision will no longer reveal your targets. It will still show you your pursuers. It will also highlight all chase breakers within a 40-meter radius gold, regardless of whether they're in your line of sight or not. If they're through a wall or on the other side of a building, you'll still see them. And finally, you will no longer glow while using Templar Vision. Now, to add into the whole stealth factor of the game, I've come up with 4 brand new abilities to be added into Assassin's Creed 3. Crowd. This ability will create a temporary, mobile blend group of 4 NPCs around you. They'll follow you just like the Gypsies did in Revelations single player, and like the Whores in the other games single players. You will not gain a hidden bonus when you kill from this group, but it will help you escape chases as if you were hidden. 3 of the NPCs created are random, while the 4th will always be a clone. Note that means it is possible to have multiple clones, and even, about getting struck by lightning twice odds, to have a full morph group following you around. Random is random. Clairvoyance. This ability is going to add in a line of sight light and an up-down indicator to your compass temporarily. The target will hear whispers if you are nearby using clairvoyance. That means if your compass is full and you're clairvoyant, your target is going to be granted whispers. So be warned, it will warn them you're coming. However, you will also get whispers if your pursuer is nearby while clairvoyant. Paranoia. 2 NPCs within 30 meters will walk slowly but directly towards the targeted persona. The NPCs will be chosen randomly and will not change skin. One of them will walk at the standard NPC pace, and one of them will fast walk. To your target, it will appear as if 2 pursuers are coming right toward him. Upon reaching their target, these 2 NPCs will despawn. If the target leaves the 30-meter area the NPCs were originally chosen from, or if the effect duration expires, the 2 NPCs will just go back to being NPCs. Panic. Throw a bomb at the target that will make a clearly distinguishable sound, and NPCs within a 6-meter radius will all run away like decoys. Nobody will change skins. It will also deafen players in the radius for 3 to 4 seconds, similar to the firecracker effect, but without the blindness. This can be used for a variety of ways, either to create confusion when your pursuer is nearby, maybe if you panic a morph group, or to make the NPCs run away from your target, revealing his presence. It's more like a sound version of the firecrackers. We're going to do a lot the same with perks. Most of them are going to carry over and stay the same. We're still going to have Blender, Hot Pursuit, Fast Getaway, Wall Runner from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, overall cooldowns, and Resilience. 2 of them are going to change a little bit. Enhanced Auto Bash will remain, but will now not be entirely useless. It will allow you to plow civilians and players alike out of the way without slowing down at all. Absolutely no slow, even when running just at a full sprint. You could use this offensively to bowl over players who are trying to take cover or use abilities. Sentry is going to be a little different as well. When you're using Sentry, if you lock onto your target, your lock will not break simply because your target walked out of line of sight. The target has to enter a blend group to make your lock go away. However, the downside is when a target blends out of your line of sight, your lock is gone instantaneously. 4 new perks are also going to make an appearance. Lucky. Kill and loss streaks will activate 1 kill or death earlier. Perceptive. Your compass will not flip to the full circle until you are 20% closer to your target. Danger sense. Your pursuer's detection meter will drop 20% faster when they are high profile and you are their target. This does not stack in team games. Patience. If the detection meter stays capped out for 10 consecutive seconds, you will regain your incognito. Finally, we've got our new streaks. Here's all our kill streaks. They work the same as they did before. There's no crazy Animus hack kill streaks anymore. They're simply 3, 5, and 7 silent, or 5, 8, and 11 standard kills for a 200, 500, and 800 point bonus. Not really a whole lot of change, just kind of a rebalancing in how many kills there are, and changing the mega kill streak into just a huge point dump. Now the loss streaks are going to be a little bit different. Reset cooldowns and tracker are going to return as they were before. Amplify cooldowns is going to be the same as boost cooldowns was in Brotherhood. Warning is going to give you whispers. So, you do have the option to get these whispers into the game, but they're just going to be as a lost streak. I'm considering also making the warning lost streak put the B button prompt back over your pursuers' heads. Not sure. Mastercraft. All of your abilities will function as if they were crafted with 2 points in all 3 categories. You will be running around with supercharged abilities until you get off of your lost streak. This could be a new favorite for the defense rounds in games like Manhunt and Chest Capture. True Templar. You will act and behave as if you had all of the perks. You will basically turn into the fucking Terminator until you can manage to get off your lost streak.
And that's it, everyone. That's what I think. Rebalance bonuses, new abilities, a whole different game style, the standard compass, or standard detection, maybe, or new compass. An entirely rebalanced philosophy that I think is going to put the emphasis back on stealth without taking out the option to still run around if you want to. You still have those choices. You can still run around like a fucktard if you really want to, but it's going to be more difficult for you. Roofing's not going to be rewarded quite as much. Social stealth is going to be where it's at. Blending, hiding, lures, hidden bonuses, even the new bonuses I threw in like Stalker and Evasion. Everything is balanced toward putting the focus back where Ubisoft meant it to be in the first place. Now, I know a lot of you aren't going to like this. I know a lot of you like standing around mashing your super skilled B button while you stunlock people who are literally incapable of fighting back. I know you think you're awesome and pro, and you're not going to be happy about this. I understand, I really do. But what I'm trying to do with these changes would be to put the multiplayer back to being fucking fun. I just want it to be fun again. Brotherhood's early life was the most fun I've ever had in an online multiplayer game. I'm sure a lot of you are going to agree with that. And if not the most fun, it was definitely a hell of a lot of fun. I want to get that back, gentlemen, that's all I want. Now here's what I want to know. I want to know what you think. Not just in the comments. I'm sure a lot of you are going to leave comments on this with what you agree or disagree with. Definitely do that. Do that. Discuss. Deliberate. But I want to see videos. I want you people to do what I've done and make a video. If you made Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer, what would you do differently? How would you design it? What would you change and fix? It could be nothing. It could be more than I've done even. It could be everything. It could be an entirely new design concept. I want to hear. You guys that make videos, Shenmue 36, Giaquinto, Rain and Stormwake, Esco, all of you people, I want to hear what you think. Make that video, upload it, post as a video response, I'll get it here, we'll get all these videos linked together, and maybe, just maybe, we can think of something amazing, and maybe someone will take notice. Who knows? I'm sure it's too late at this point to change anything about Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer, but I would really like to know what everyone thinks would make it more fun. That said, that's all I got for today, everyone. This is Squiddish. Good fucking day.